Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am so happy to be making this video because it took me a year worth of waiting for this to happen. We are finally at the point with the Accord where it's pretty much just up from here because we've done all the hard and dirty work that we've needed to do. We've pretty much bodyworked the whole car, taking it down to bare metal first of all, and making sure that this thing is perfect and ready to go. I'm aiming for, my whole thought process with this thing is a true full-on restoration, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to sand down bad paint and then spray over the top and have it, you know, start messing up a couple years down the line. So I'm making sure that I've taken my time with this thing, doing it right, and like I said, making sure that it's a true restoration. The Accord is finally gonna start getting some new parts, as well as some other parts that are gonna spice it up a little bit. But before we get to that point, I think the Accord deserves, in celebration, a quick montage of where it started and where it is now. So as you can see, I mean, honestly, an incredible amount of work has gone into this thing, but we're on to the fun stuff now. So I present to you all the things that are gonna make this thing, or take this car to the next level, man. But starting off with the front here, we got the front lip. This is from a brand called Stillin. It cost $286. Well, with shipping, it was like $310, $320. Pretty expensive, but it's gonna make the front end look super nice. And then we got the brand new front bumper because the one that I have is just all beat up. It's the original one. There's holes drilled through it, and it's just easier to get a new one rather than try to make the other one look kind of as good as this one, you know what I'm saying? So we got the front bumper to tie in the whole front end to look super nice. And then although this isn't new, the hood, I got this from the junkyard and it was super straight. I did have to take it down to bare metal, but I don't even think I bodyworked it. It was actually really good. And then the fenders, I did get these new from a aftermarket place called Certifit that we have here in Denver. I don't know if they're gonna fit up good because you guys know how it goes with those parts. Unless they're like Kappa certified, it's not a guarantee that they're gonna fit. And then to tie the whole thing together, I got the duckbill here. This I got from eBay. I believe it was $90. This one though, I did actually make sure that it fit just because I wasn't gonna be sure since the listing said for a 2017 Civic. But yeah, like I said, this is the fun part, man. This is where the Accord is gonna start looking better and getting us ready to spray epoxy again. So the first job I wanted to tackle was the fenders because it's the easiest thing to do and just to warm up and get the blood flowing. The front fenders have a total of 7 bolts, believe it or not, which I thought was kind of a lot, but hey, if it makes the fitment that much better, then we'll roll with that. But now tackling the inner fender because it's attached to the fender and that will allow us to remove it, but overall, an easy job. Now you're probably wondering, but Richie, how do you remember where all those nuts and bolts go? Right here, Sharpie and a Ziploc bag. Just write on here whatever it is that they came off of, and that way you will never forget. So now with the front fenders on there, it's looking a lot better. I mean, I guess as good as it can look for now. It's still in like 6 different colors, but I had to move the car back into the garage because the wind is just terrible, and yeah, I didn't want to risk the panels blowing around, so enjoy the clip of me struggling to get the car back into the garage. Alright guys, I had to move into the garage because it's just super windy outside and I'm not going to be able to get anything done, and plus I don't want the body panels blowing around and potentially getting messed up. So we're in here a little tight on space, but we'll make it work, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, these fenders, I gotta say, I'm surprised with the fitment. They actually, I got no complaints. They fit like OEM. I wasn't actually 100% sure if they were gonna fit, because I've heard some people, you know how people say, oh, these things don't fit, da, da, da. And it's not until you get the actual hands-on experience with the parts that you see for yourself if they work or not. But let me show you how I mounted them up for now. I left the bolts kind of loose so I can move this around. I still have to put the other hood on here, but I want to do that last just because that one's OEM, so I know for sure that will fit pretty good. But yeah, the gap is pretty good over here. Like I said, I could maneuver this around, but I was mainly concerned about like them being equal length here, so you can see that it's pretty good fitment, you know what I'm saying? And then up here where it meets the pillar, the gap throughout the door looks really good, man. Now I want to try to fit this bumper on here. Hopefully it's the same as the fenders and we don't have any issues and it lines up as it should. So with the front fenders fitting as good as they did, I started having high hopes for the front bumper. Now this is a crucial part of this whole front end because everything pretty much builds off of it, like the front lip and then the fenders meet to the bumper. So it's crucial that we have this front bumper fit really well. Let's go, baby. We're getting it to fit up really good. I still need, like, I don't have any nuts and bolts to like actually bring this together, so that's why it's hanging with this gap. But yeah, other than this here, the fitment is looking so good. This side as well, we got it. Oh, this side actually is a lot better. Look at that. Hell yeah. I was expecting at least, I mean, yeah, nah, I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting it not to fit as good as it is, but hey, I'm glad because it's gonna save us a lot of headache, man. That looks so good. That's the money shot right there. All right, but now that we made sure that the front bumper fits, it's time to move on to the more important step. I'm gonna pull the front lip back out of the box and start trying to figure out how to mount that to the bumper. I'm 6'3", and this thing is as tall as me, bruh. That shit's crazy. All right, now let's see how good this fits on here. Yeah, I could already see a couple problems. That's probably the money shot right there for you guys. Ooh, that's gotta look good right there, baby. See if it holds. Yes. All right, let me back up here with you guys. Bro, look at that. Oh my God. Holy shit. I'm just gonna stop right here and admire this angle because it's been so much work to get to this point, man. It's so nice to finally see it here in real life after waiting so long. And the crazy thing is that it's only gonna keep getting better from here, man. It's finally coming to life, man. So make sure, if you guys haven't already, to smack the hell out of that, oh shit, smack the hell out of that subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed, then smack the hell out of that like button, man. Let's go. I know I keep going off about it, but it just keeps looking better, bro. Oh my God. Now that we got, I mean, kind of it didn't really reach all the way around. Like there's still about, what, 2 inches to go. But that's because, so we're hitting, actually, what the hell? That actually, hold on. I thought we were hitting on these little fins right here, but I don't know. Where it's actually hitting is right here on this plastic piece of the bumper. And then back here on this side of the bumper, it's actually not hitting this bracket. So that's why it's sitting nice and flush over here. But we're just gonna have to notch a little bit off of the driver's side. Yo, check this out. So I took the clamp off and moved it down a little bit. I'm still gonna have to cut off on this little tab back here so it could sit back. a little bit more. But yo, look at this shit. I got it on there. It looks so good. Oh my gosh. That's probably just gonna be the theme of this video, man, is me just being in awe of how good everything's looking, man. I've been waiting so long and all this hard work, man. And I just want to make it known that this is actually my first full ever like build like this. Obviously this is extreme, like taking it down to bare metal and doing a full-on restoration, but I'm doing pretty much all this at once. You know, it's the first time I'm taking something down to bare metal, taking on a big project like this, and actually putting aftermarket parts on a car and making it look better than OEM. You know what I'm saying? So this is huge video for me, man. All right, guys, I took everything back apart, but now I'm gonna get ready to cut these little square pieces off. It does connect to like the top piece right here, but I'm not gonna cut that. I'm just gonna cut the square piece right here. And to do that, I have the Dremel tool here as well as these snips. I think if we can get these in here, let's see, it'll probably be quicker. I don't think we'll be able to get in that way, but probably right here. Oh yeah, look at that. It lines up perfect. Maybe we could just slice right now. Save all that time. Oh, yes, sir. Look at that. Yes, sir. So then we could just come over here now and do the same exact thing. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect. Now we just got to cut here. Same thing. And we're good. So luckily I had the snips to speed up the time, but on the other side they didn't fit. So instead of using the Dremel tool, I used the razor blade and it worked really good. Honestly, it probably worked better than the Dremel would have. But after we got that cut out, it's back on with the front bumper and trying to fit the front lip on again. All right, guys, I had to take this back off because the lip is still hitting up here. These two middle ones are good, but this one and this one are gonna need to be widened a little bit because I don't want it to fit as tight as it is, because it's borderline like not wanting to fit. It's too tight, you know what I'm saying? This time I figured I would try the Dremel tool just to speed it up a little bit, but it smelled so bad I had to put the mask on. So I just went back to the snips and then after that filed it down to make it look good. And it got the job done. All right, now in case you're wondering, did he actually round them out and do a good job? Come on, bro, come on. So now it's back on with the front lip, and that's pretty much the name of the game when you're fitting parts like this, is just put it on to test fit, take it off to cut, and then back and forth, back and forth. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, this thing is looking just absolutely insane, man. It looks so good. Like I'm saying, having it here in real life rather than just a render on my phone or the computer is just completely different, man. It hits so good. But yeah, the fitment's looking really good, actually. It is a pretty tight fit still, but I think I'm happy with it. We can keep moving forward from where we're at now. But I also wanted to show you guys the ride height, because we got the wheel gap here, I mean, pretty much dialed in right there, and it's still a full 5 worth of gap down here. So I thought it was gonna end up a lot lower, which would have been like, I guess, a little more sketch to drive, because obviously I don't want this thing getting ruined. It was $320, man. But yeah, we got the full 5 finger gap right here, so we should be more than good to be cruising this thing around. All right, guys, well, I've been doing some test fitting and cutting, and this thing's actually fitting up really good. Let me show you what I did up here. I ended up getting rid of the whole box here. Originally I just did like this bottom section, and it's fitting a lot better. The gap actually decreased a lot, so now it's looking super flush on both sides. Now I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to mount this thing, because there isn't a lot of points that we can use on here without like having to drill through where you can actually see. So what I do know, because I'm going to be using riv nuts, those are clutch. I'll show you all about those here in a second. But I have 2 locations where I know I'm gonna be putting a couple, so 1 and 2 right here, and then same thing over there, 3 and 4. But then from there is where I'm trying to figure out where to sneak in at least 2 more. My first thoughts are trying to put one in here on each side, but like as you can see back here towards the edge of it, the bumper like kind of angles away from it, so I have to do it out here more. But I kind of want to fit this all together back on the car and see if, like, standing from up here looking down, we'll be able to see the riv nut. If we can't really see it at an angle too much, I'll put another riv nut here and here just to hold it on a little bit better, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want this thing to be flying off. But yeah, I'm hoping we can sneak one in there. So I'm gonna fit this thing back on and I'll come back to you guys. All right, well, looking at it from this distance, I mean, it's what, about 3.5 feet. It looks pretty good. I mean, you can't, obviously you're not gonna be able to see from this distance those 2 spots I was telling you about, but I mean, once you kind of start getting down here and actually start looking, the spots are pretty noticeable. Fuck, man, I don't know what to do. So instead of wasting a bunch of time, I just started going at it with the ones that I did know where I wanted them to go. So I measured out 9.5 on each side, and after I got that to where I wanted it, I busted out the riv nut tool. And now here I'm making sure I grab the right size bit, because you don't want to use one that's too big and then it'll cause the riv nut to be loose. But after we found the right drill bit, started drilling through the bumper and the front lip, making sure that everything's lined up. And then we got the riv nut tool on there to crush the riv nut and give us something good to bolt onto. All right, well, check out how it turned out, guys. It looks actually really good. I mean, I got no complaints about it. Nice and simple. Got these 2 on the passenger side, and then over here 2 more on the driver's side. Quite honestly, I think just those 4 is gonna be enough to hold this thing in position, because it hugs the bumper super tight, and the way it grabs like in the center grill and everything, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good like that. Let's do some testing real quick. Now, I gotta be honest, it actually adds quite a bit of weight to the bumper. I'd say it's probably about a total of like 25 pounds. So it's not too bad, but it definitely at least doubles the weight. Just give it a little test shake here. See, this is where I'm saying that, like, it comes around really nice right here and then just hugs in this center section here. So it almost acts like if it was one big just bolt by itself, I guess. Because, like, look at this. I'm actually trying to pull it off, and it's on there pretty nice, man. I don't know if there's much more we could do with that. With the front bumper and the lip done, it's time to move on to the piece that I've been thinking about the most, because it's not gonna be straightforward and it's gonna take a lot of creativity to mount the duck bill to the trunk lid, but we'll get it done. We just gotta clean up our area before we start working and get it set up to make things happen. All right, so we're down to the final piece, the trunk lid. Now, there's a reason I left this till last, because I'm still trying to figure out whether I want to hard mount the duck bill to the trunk lid or just use the double-sided sticky tape that it comes with. Look at this beauty right here, man. Oh my goodness. I think this is gonna do the trick in the back. Oh my god. I didn't really want to go with an OEM one, because although I do kind of like how they look, I just wanted to go for something different, and I think this is gonna be it, man. I think this is gonna be it. All right, before we get to drilling this thing, I put it on here and it's staying on there, but look how good it looks, man. Whoo, look at that shit, man. Damn. Hell yeah. That's gonna look so good. Look at that back shot, man. Yes, sir. And it's cool because it's not gonna add like a crazy, like crazy ass pitch to it. It's aggressive enough to look good, but not overly aggressive, you know what I'm saying? And then look how flat it fits too. It fits so good, which is, again, like I said, it's crazy because this was advertised on eBay for a 2017 Honda Civic. But I mean, I looked at the pictures and I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. It looks like it'll fit. And bruh, it fits so sick. And what's crazy is that the body line is even gonna match to the car, because the car comes up like kind of like that and then just goes straight into it. Oh, it's gonna look sick. Once we have it on here, we'll line it up back there and I'll show you what I mean. But man, that looks crazy. All right, so what I'm gonna do is, since there's already these two pre-drilled holes here, I'm just gonna go ahead and open them up with the drill bit I've been using and then see if this fits, because I just thought about measuring it up to this right here, and like, I don't know, it might be too tall, man. I don't know if it's gonna work. It's like right there. So maybe I could fit it in there and then try to crush it a little bit, move it up, crush. I'll have to see what I can do. So now it's finally on to the most stressful part of fitting these body parts onto the car. I started off by putting the duckbill back onto the trunk lid and measuring out 8.5 from edge to the middle of where I wanted, and then 2 inches from the back edge to the front. That way we have enough space for the duckbill to have a nice solid base to grab onto. And then once we have it measured out to where we want, it's time to just go to town with the drill bits. And after we had the one on the outside done, I went ahead with the step bit on the inside and just made an access hole to be able to reach in there and fit the bolt. But with that done, moved on to the riv nut, and honestly the most crucial part is to try to fit this thing on here and make sure that it looks good. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness, man. I am so happy. Like, it looks so good right now. So you guys just seen that I finished fitting the duckbill onto the trunk lid, but I made a little surprise for you guys. I went ahead and put the trunk lid back on the car and then the black hood on here, and it just looks so good, man. So without further ado, here it is. Look how clean that is, bruh. Damn. We got a whole black front end now from both fenders forward. So again, the only thing OEM here is the hood, which is good because that's the big main piece. And then we got the aftermarket fenders, aftermarket bumper, and then the aftermarket lid. But damn, bro, oh my god, quite a bit of work went into like fitting everything up, making sure that, you know, just everything is lined up and it's make sure it's gonna work, you know what I'm saying? The only thing, actually, before I forget to mention it, so with this other hood, I do have it latched down, and it's like, I don't know, like a 1/4 inch. I'm gonna have to check the latch here, but I mean, either way, it should be an easy fix. Worst case, I'll just have to take these bolts out, make the hole a little bit bigger, have the latch, have this piece sit a little bit lower, and then that way the hood could latch a little bit lower, and then that'll take care of that problem. But other than that, man, this front end is looking crazy. Come over here to this side. Let's go. All right, and then the final one, I did put the trunk on before the hood, but I haven't really looked at it because I've been waiting. I did tape it down so you guys could be able to see how it's gonna look. But all right, here's the duckbill, bruh. That's gonna look so sick. Look at that. Hell yeah. I know it's hard to see the vision with like all this body over here, but this angle right here will show you. Yes sir, look at that. That's the money shot right there, baby. Let's go. So I decided I'm also gonna use even though I have the one riv nut on each side, I'm still gonna go ahead and use some double-sided 3M tape on this one, because since I don't have two, I only have one, it like back and forth, it still moves a little bit, like side to side. If I go this way, it's solid, but this way, since I don't have two in there on each side, it just moves a little bit. But I think the tape will take care of that. So yeah, man, that looks so good. It's crazy. Oh, and then this is the line I was telling you right here. Then it comes up and then it just naturally follows it, which is fucking crazy. How that happened is just insane. So needless to say, I'm more than happy with all the work that we've done in this video, man. I mean, fitting all this stuff, making sure it fits, and yeah, it's finally off my mind, because even though I've been doing all these other projects, in the back of my mind I've been thinking about how I'm gonna fit this front lip, and especially that rear duckbill. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, man, and if you guys are excited for what's to come with the Accord, make sure you smash that like button. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with everything coming, because like I said, man, it's all up from here with the Accord. All the fun stuff is starting to happen, so don't miss out. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.